Hello, my name is Miles Malinowski, and this is Mushroom Biofuel. There we go. Okay, so mushrooms have been around for a very long time, and we have yet to discover, or we were yet to discover how to turn it into biofood, but we have just discovered a new mushroom that can anaerobically process, and yeah, that makes it for very easy, and this has a very high yield for biofuel. Yes. Why mushrooms? They are very sustainable and they have bioethanol that they can produce. They also produce a biogas and stuff like that. And one of the reasons why this is a very good biofuel to use is it doesn't use a lot of the competitors that corn and sugarcane use, because they compete with the food industry and they also take a lot of water and soil to use, and mushrooms do not. They just take spores and kind of a humid climate. Um, yeah, so they don't really take a whole lot of water to replicate because they have this anaerobic fungi that has a very promising and high yield that makes it very efficient. They hydrolyze the cellulose and stuff like that to convert the substrate into H2 and ethanol. This substrate is called spent mushroom substrate and referred to as SMS. The production is very simple. It is a kind of circular one, and it starts with the mushroom cultivation and then it turns into the substrate, and then the substrate obviously to the kind of production and then the use, and then the waste that comes from it will actually use the spores to recultivate into that mushroom that it came from, and then the process will start all back over again. So the development of this is the trick is the mushroom that has a high cellulose fermentation process that can be converted into butanol and then to ethanol later. This is from a source I got, and they obtained a 2-year-old's SMS substrate of a mix of wheat and sawdust, and then from a mushroom farm, and they composted it and analyzed the different strains and such, and then they found the strain with the novel genes to allow it to produce enzymes that can clearly convert cellulose to butanol, and then adding microscopic crystals of cellulose to the bacteria leads to no pre-treatment required and can make the process go a lot faster. So the impact on the carbon footprint is it essentially has none, because vegetables and proteins have very little on its own, other than not aside from natural gases and such like that. And mushrooms even have less than it. So it is seen as a very desirable source for carbon footprint. The economic fact is it is a huge win-win for the economy, because not only does the production of it help, is it can go into many different fields. So it can go into food, it can go into waste removal and cleanup, because a lot of mushrooms actually break down bad waste in biofuel. Um, and then it also can, yes, lead to biofuel as a whole and produce a lot of things that we can use into different energy reconsumption. So it's a big win-win, and it can lead to a lot of new fields and a lot of new jobs. Advertisement. So you never really hear about it, which I always kind of find interesting. But what is good is there's been a lot of new companies that are being created with mushrooms, because it is very good for you and it is good for the environment. And a lot of people are seeing that now, which is fantastic. So if it's good for the environment and good for you, why can't it be good for your car to go to work every day? My conclusive thoughts is the anaerobic SMS is the new thing to biofuel. It can help increase the production of other biofuels, serving as a rich source of substrate for corn and sugarcane. It can also produce biofuels on its own with very little preparation and a very efficient yield. It cuts down on carbon footprinting, as well as serves in many different ways for the economy. Mushrooms are the new craze, and it just has to come to light in a new way. And my future steps are just kind of the same thing of what I went over. So advertisement is first. I mean, just kind of getting it out there and that it's good for you. The second thing is just having constant funding and kind of starting the farms and actually introducing into an economic standpoint. And then the third is just kind of getting around the big companies before they shut you down. And that is my 3-step plan. And there's the citations. And thank you.